the truth.
Hey, Troy, do you think that just the way you guys have been getting some more regular minutes the last week or so, do you think that's helped enable some sort of rhythm? You and Quinn and KCP2 including hitting 11 threes off the bench.
Yeah, no question. The more you play, the more rhythm you get. Real game action is the best teacher. You can't really simulate that in practice. So actually getting out there, getting some real minutes, definitely creates rhythm and confidence in me and Quinn. And you just got next man up. It's got to be ready to play.
I know that in basketball, when you practice, you take a million shots. So what's the key to coming in after not being on the floor for 15 minutes sometimes and hitting that first one?
I think it's more mindset than anything. You can, really be defeated before you even get in the game, just, thinking bad thoughts. So, I try to get my mind right before I get in the game and just cheer my teammates on and then go out there and just do what I do. So,
what do you think was the difference tonight in the slow start and then you guys kind of roaring back and then ultimately what we saw in crunch time?
We did come out slow. I'm not trying to discredit what they did, but we came out slow in the first half, and down the stretch we just didn't get enough stops. And Fultz and those guys, they play really well. It's unfortunate. We'll take it and learn from it.
How much can, obviously you got one to win, but you did get the win in OKC the other night playing with some of the same personnel. What can it do for you and Quinn, I guess, in particular, as you go down the line with this season?
It's just a confidence booster. It's a confidence booster. We're in and out of rotation, but our job is just to stay ready no matter what. I know it's kind of like the right thing to say, but that's just our job, is to be ready and go out there and do what we're supposed to do and help a team win. So we came up short tonight, but we'll learn from it.
Before tonight, you guys had gone 22-0 against teams with losing records. It just seems like it's so rare, including tonight, even though in the loss, you guys make it a tough one.
Right.
What is different from the culture of this team than any other team you've been on that makes you guys compete every night?
I think we just hold ourselves accountable, rather than the coaches or anybody else. I think we hold ourselves accountable in this locker room. We're all professionals at the end of the day, and, if somebody's not playing well or don't have it, we got their back. We're in their ear trying to help them out. So I think 1 through 15, we're like brothers. We just want to go out there and win. So.
Frank said that he has the confidence in you and Quinn, even when you weren't playing a lot, to come in and do what you did. That's part of the reason why they have you on the roster.
Right.
But does it nonetheless still make somewhat of a difference to do it a couple of times and sort of just put it on the actual floor?
Yeah, no question. That's our job. Like I said, always being ready. In and out of rotation, it is what it is. But there's only 450 jobs in this league, and we have one of them. So we can play basketball too. But getting the opportunity and showing what we can really do is definitely a confidence booster for us as well as our teammates.
So I guess some of this is obvious, but with LeBron's passing for a shooter, what are there things that you picked up on, just little subtleties about where he's going to get you the ball and where to be open and when and all that kind of stuff? I'm
honestly just trying to stay ready. Kind of had a bad habit of trying to pump faking every time I catch it when he throws it, but he's got to be shot ready. And if it goes in, it goes in. If not, get back on D and hopefully it goes in next time. So it's not really nothing to it, but just shooting the ball. So. Yeah, because guys are closing out very hard to me. Sometimes you want to put it down, but most of the time you just got to catch and shoot because you're not going to get another open look like that. So.
Frank, what's the main takeaway from a game like that? The slow start, roaring back from a 20-point deficit, all the guys off the bench, and then building the lead and then just not executing down the stretch finally.
Yeah, proud of the guys that got us back in the game. Those guys gave us a good lift, but we didn't play well enough to win a basketball game tonight. Credit to Orlando Magic, they played extremely well. Whether they have guys in or out of the lineup, the guys that played extremely well. Fultz was terrific with a triple-double. Vooch and AG were really good, and all their role players that got extended minutes. Made the best of them, very similarly to what we did in OKC. And, you just got to credit your opponent.
Frank, how can you reflect on going 22-0 against teams sub-500 before tonight, and on the night when it is broken, you fall down 20, but still make it a one-possession game?
Yeah, we got a good team. Even when we're not at our best, we have the ability to rally and almost get past our deficiencies early in the game, and but just want enough tonight. And this is a team that's they've got a playoff culture. They were a playoff team last year, the third best team in the East, second half of the year. They're very well coached, and they're tied together on the defensive end, and they made things difficult for us tonight. Even the guys that don't play the regular minutes, those guys just made the best of their opportunities.
Coach, y'all had a lot of momentum going into the fourth and even going at the end of the fourth. Where do you feel like where the momentum shifted at?
Well, they made shots. We missed 2 dunks. I mean, stuff happens sometimes. I mean, those are, no answer types of plays. I mean, but they made us pay on the other end. They shot 11 for 18 in the fourth quarter. Whether we defended well or had breakdowns, they made shots. So, sometimes you got to just credit your opponent.
What have you seen from Quinn Cook this season and his ability to have such streaky play?
Yeah, he's. I'm happy for him that right now he's getting an extended opportunity to play, and he's showing what he can do. He's a good player. He played in the playoffs for us. We have great depth on this team. He'd be playing in rotation on most teams. But we've got a veteran team that is very deep, especially at that position. So credit to him for staying ready and making the best of his opportunity. He was terrific tonight.
LeBron had a little bit of a slow start offensively, at least, and then ultimately finished with his career high in assists. Can you just what did you feel like? What did you take from his game tonight and the way that it kind of ebbed and flowed for him?
The way it ended? Ebbed and flowed. I thought he was terrific. The first half he was clearly trying to get his teammates involved, and was really facilitating, getting guys open looks all over the place. Some went down, some didn't. But he played the same way. With when Quinn and KCP and Troy were in there, those guys were making shots. That's why we finished with those guys. And I think LeBron played an exceptional. Play a game with 19 assists without playing an exceptional game. So,
Frank, what is the last week or so? Not that a couple of games results change a lot of your thinking, but what does this tell you about some of your role players and just kind of the confidence you can have in them going forward to get you in position to close out games?
Yeah, it's just there's gonna be some nights where your main guys aren't getting it done, or you just want to change the game. So it's not. I don't want to pin this on guys that not playing well. Sometimes the group's not playing well, and you just got to try something different. And that was the case tonight. And I have a lot of confidence in those guys. And this, quite frankly, doesn't really change that. I'm not surprised that Quinn Cook and Troy Daniels come in and do what they did. And KCP, of course, as well. So it doesn't really change anything for me other than just reaffirms the confidence that I have in those guys.
Frank, sorry, I realize, tonight sort of personnel, injuries and stuff had something to do with it, but broadly speaking, what are the situations, the matchups where you do look at Quinn and Troy and say, like, this situation really suits them well, where you want to use them?
Well, part of it is who's playing well. Part of it is, the skill set that's needed on both ends of the floor. Right, they were small. They play lineup with Vooch, Aaron, and basically Terrence at the 3, whether Fournier's in there or not. And that makes it difficult to have 3 6'10" guys out there, 6'8" guys out there. So we would have left Kuz in there, but we knew that it would be a matchup problem. The other 3 guys were playing really well. So it was an easy decision to go with those guys. And those were the guys who are shooting the ball the best. And against Orlando's defense, they're going to have 5 in the paint all night. So we want to make sure we have shooters on the weak side. And they did the job on that end. We just didn't get enough stops.
Frank, the way that the Magic were able to get in the paint tonight, especially toward the end, is that sort of reflective of maybe the gaps that AD would fill in on defense if he were available? Yeah,
somewhat. But, like I said, I mean, they made the playoffs because of the space that Nick Vucevic at the center position, Aaron Gordon at the 4 position, it gives their penetrators, and they're very difficult to guard with that closing lineup that they have. And, that was probably the bigger reason that there was so much space for those guys to go to work. I trust our bigs, Dwight and JaVale, to win most battles at the rim. But Fultz had a few too many buckets, and sometimes the game goes that way. Those guys have been dominant at the rim for us. They weren't bad tonight. They made plenty of stops, but like I said, we were just as a group, just a couple stops too short.